Hello, this is Star Television. Welcome to our top stories making a local news bulletin. With me, Leonora Jawara. The headlines. Tritram Trust Foundation launches 190 million Old Leone's annual scholarship program for school-going pupils in Sierra Leone.
And even during the crisis times, when there was Ebola, when there was Corona, when there was war, Tritram International Foundation has been very generous to give this scholarship to school-going kids every year.
Media Reform Coordinating Group launches State of the Media Report 2018-2021.
Within the last 4 years, there had been a significant improvement in terms of media freedom with specific reference to the legislative and the regulatory frameworks.
All these making the headlines. And now the news in detail. As a way of living up to its corporate social responsibility, the Tritram Trust Foundation has officially launched its annual scholarship program cumulatively, amounting to the tune of 190 million Old Leones, targeting 267 pupils carefully vetted and selected by a special committee. Alfie Barry reports.
This scholarship program, according to Harish Agnani, the head of Tritram, stated that it started this scheme during the 1960s. Hence, every year since then, carefully vetted and selected beneficiaries are handed the cash money to help smoothen the woes that comes with pursuing education. Harish Agnani further noted that the sum of 179 million leones that is being allotted to these 267 pupils supersedes the 160 million leones dished out last year, a move he described as fulfilling their corporate social responsibility.
Scholarship donation done by Tritram International Foundation. This ceremony has been going on since 1961. This has been going on since 1961, and even during the crisis times, when there was Ebola, when there was Corona, when there was war, Tritram International Foundation has been very generous to give this scholarship to school-going kids every year. Despite whatever has happened in the past, good times, bad times, this funding is always available for school-going children in Sierra Leone. Right? It's not only for Tritram Scholarship Fund. The Tritram International Foundation provides the funding, but they also provide funding for running and upgrading of Tritram Memorial Hospital.
Estalin Palmer, Chair, Tritram Committee that vets prospective beneficiaries, noted that very rigorous selection process was anchored on felt needs, stating that the scholarship program will bring much needed succor to parents who are battling with the constant rumble of challenges in educating their children.
Alleviate the sufferings of most of those who do not know where to go to get money. We have tried our committee to choose those people who really need to be helped. It's free education. Some of them are not even aware of the free education because of these little petty schools, known as private schools, who do not benefit from free education. They come and we don't talk them down because they are not benefiting from the free education. Only the government and government-assisted schools are benefiting from the free education.
Help me because like why they receive this money the other way around and they do their half business then and they go put and then for let the business continue for grow up so that I will take care of the school business, even the feeding business. So it can really help me over that.
Can Azad, the managing director of Tritram, who purposefully flew into the country to honor the ceremony, assured of Tritram's unflinching commitments in continuing to provide much-needed support to national developments. For Star News in Freetown, Alfie Barry reporting.
The Media Reform Coordinating Group has launched the State of the Media Report spanning from 2018-2021, in which the report indicates a marked progress in the entire gamut of press freedom and freedom of expression ecosystem. Here's Alfie Baggy again with more.
The State of the Media report provides a critical overview of the prospects and challenges in the media freedom and development in Sierra Leone, spanning from 2018 to 2021, with the report divided into two stratifications. The first broadly focuses on freedom, professionalism, regulation, content, improvement, while the second brings the academic aspect with focus on academic articles on the roles of the media and access to information in sustainable development. Dr. Francis Soa, the coordinator, MRCG, noted that under the period reviewed, media has noted progress in the area of freedom within the context of legislative and regulatory framework.
Under the aspects that deals with the overview of the media, in terms of the key highlights, there were issues around the operations of the media, issues relating to the management of the media, issues also dealing with freedom of expression and of the press. Within the last 4 years, there had been a significant improvement in terms of media freedom with specific reference to the legislative and the regulatory frameworks. That is to say, we all saw what happened in 2020 when we had the repeal of Part 5 of the 1965 Public Order Act, specifically the issues of criminal and seditious libel. That singular act of repealing Part 5 increased Sierra Leone's ranking in all international press and freedom reports. So we have scored high marks in that area. At least we don't have the law. So in other words, nobody can arrest somebody for criminal libel in Sierra Leone.
Even though there has equally been a noted improvement in the context according to Dr. Soa, but the persistent challenge of the media poverty is a reality that still persists.
Media poverty remains a challenge. The resources are not just there. In fact, I said to a guest who came in from the USA the other day that the way we do media in Sierra Leone appears to be some kind of miracle. You go to a media house, they don't have the requisite pieces of equipment, but they produce content. That is the resilience we are talking about. In the midst of not getting what they ought to get, what they are supposed to get, we are still publishing, we are still broadcasting. But that does not mean we should stay in this condition. We still need technical resources. We still need financial resources. Even the human resources, we need them because, for example, if you take broadcasting, there is a problem with the availability of trained and qualified technicians. More so as we move from analog to digital. You come to the newspaper, we are still struggling with people who understand layouts and designs.
For Star TV News in Freetown, compiled by Alfie Bayed by Isabella Stanley.
Well, if you just joined us, you're watching Star Television, and this is the local news bulletin here on Channel 21. Now, Health for the Aged, in collaboration with Focus 1000, has organized a walking exercise with the aged at the National Stadium, being the takeoff point to Aberdeen Beach as the finishing line. Here is more on that report.
Well, Focus 1000, I would say being a dynamic organization, we believe for do things and for promote the well-being of people then. So one of the area we're in now are the area of the aged for support the old people there. We don't say old people and they suffer a lot. So I think we partner for the aged, the King George home, most of them get old people there. We also get, during Tonia, we come together and see what we can do. Not forget, say, last month, that be the month, October, that be the month of the aged. So we really continue with the celebration for raise awareness about the plight and the importance of supporting the aged. You will find out, say, Focus 1000, that first 1,000 days now the foundation and so the planner. But now we don't go back into young people then because we see say the young people then now then they born them PKS. So if you don't support adolescents, that probably you need to make them know. Now the old people then they say get a role in society. Now they get them grandpa, then granny there. Now then they set standards. So if they're able to set standards, it go good for them. It go good for the young people there. It go good for the Kumbra and Bele woman there. And again. Now, vulnerable people there, old people there, they are exposed to a lot of risk. So if you're able to support them, let them know what themselves will do for support themselves, and what society will do for support them, and what government will do for support them.
That's a sponsored work for local awareness and doing fundraising for the vulnerable people. And for far too long, government don't get any comprehensive program for the vulnerable people. So we plan for do a fundraising and also let me do awareness. We will focus 1,000 on let people they aware, say the old people their life matter. Let people they know say one, when you exercise, you will keep you very fit. Then number two, for the awareness, let government and other citizens they know say the old people their life matter. You don't take too long in the suffer, and also with the old people they don't get any budget allocation. And also they get a policy but not pass through parliament. If you want let government concentrate on the vulnerable old people because the people they don't contribute to the social building of this country. So they don't contribute for build this country. Government don't let them out for far too long. So they raise the awareness, they focus 1,000, let people know say the life of the old people the matter, and government for concentrate for the old people because Mickey always say if you help the old people that also can able help for minimize corruption. Why I say so? If the man now is 50 years, you want for retire, if you know say then they take care of old people away on 60 after retirement, you not go do for corruption. But because of say government not there to take care of them, people can tend to be corrupt so that for keep enough wealth so that when they retire they can able to use them.
Elderly people are within the country and we need to give back to them. The elderly people and people who don't contribute so much towards this country development, and it should be a payback time. So this particular work today is a very unique one, and one for kudos to Health for the Aged for come up with this kind of initiative where doctors efforts to join them today for good work.
The proprietress of the SS Cake Shop, Kimberly Sila, during a cake training exercise at the local Baptist Church, has reiterated the challenges meted out in meeting professional skills due to the low level of baking standard in the country. In an interview with Star Television, she said she decided to bring in renowned international baking expert to do a masterclass training for Sierra Leonean bakers with a limited number of only 25 students as a way of capacity building. Let's have more.
This why I organize this event is that I realize saying as we Sierra moved into a level of making these trending cakes, and if we come with somebody like maybe a Nigerian, so it will also put we on the map. So we said we're able to showcase we success and when we get an international baking competition, we said we're able to go and other country and represent the country, make the country proud. That it make a decide for the proud. It can be a banker, it can be a manager, anybody with a type or target. Once they don't get a passion for baking, they get a love for them, that them at the time because yes, that's it. I'm telling you, me I did a shop, I did meet up with member of parliament, I did meet up with lawyers, I did meet up with teachers, nurses, police officers. It's not only for job. So even me when I begin make this, I begin to take just not the one, I begin to everybody begin that negative stigma towards me for saying, my husband and my man, I take me the road. You know, it's not for only job. It's for people who get a passion. Some people are banker, but they get passion for baking. It's not only for job. It's people that have the passion for it, and that we can, as educated people, be able to show say this not for only job, but for anybody. If you look at the cake here, now that we achieve, to be honest, now that we achieve, because ever, you know, whatever for any side before this, see this time.
Most of the things that were learning are so today as I don't graduate, that means to me, and I'm not ever seen that the baking world, but waiting I don't can learn, I'm so happy, because like one of the things there, I don't be I do cake, but I don't ever know waiting a passage, I don't ever know of sharp edges, but now I don't perfect. Well, what do we get for say? First time they talk say baking and people we don't drop out of school and then they go into baking world. But me want to tell people say not to only drop out. Me na a graduate, a business administration student from the camp. But yes, I come to the baking world and I so love them and I find joy whenever I do one.
Please.
But I say
ladies and men all over Africa and beyond. And as an entrepreneur, I noticed that when you give people the right information, when you train them, you give them the right tools, they excel in their business. You know, they are able to work hard and earn a living through the skill acquisition that they have acquired. So I take pleasure in traveling, going to different countries. I've trained in Nigeria, of course I'm a Nigerian, and I've trained in many countries in Africa and beyond, and I hope I keep doing that. And I'm glad I'm in Sierra Leone, and it's been a wonderful experience. I'm glad to share my crafts with young ladies in Sierra Leone. That's the impression that you have to be a dropout, or maybe because you have failed in academics and then you decide to like try your hands in training and crafts. It's very wrong. I myself have a master's degree and I trained, and in my course of training, people have come to meet different people from all walks of life. I've trained lecturers in university. I have lecturers and students who tell me that the salaries are not enough. They want something, that they can do so that when they retire, they have something to keep them going. I've had nurses. In fact, I have a nurse in my very class. I have a nurse, and I've had engineers. I've had bankers. I have a banker. So these days, it's no longer true that you drop out of school and you go and get money. Right now, entrepreneur is the should I say it's the gold? It's the new gold. Entrepreneurship is the new gold, and almost everyone is doing it because as the world is going, everyone needs one or two streams of income. The salaries might not be enough, and then have bills to pay. You want a better quality life, and then sometimes when we were growing up as children, we had passion to do one or two things. But sometimes our parents will force us. You have to be a doctor. You have to be you have to be this. But there's this thing you love doing, like you love to bake, and so when you have the opportunity to do it, you do it, and you can do it together with your, the job that you do. Like I was a teacher in primary school, and then from there I went to secondary school, and I became a head teacher.
And that's all we have for you today in a local news bulletin file. Thanks for watching. Thank you for your time. I am Leonora Jawara. Do stay with us if you can.